Welcome back, everyone, to the Summit here in Houston, Texas, and the two-time world champion Houston Rockets take on the Minnesota Timberwolves. The first time the Timberwolves have ever been in the playoff picture. The Timberwolves tonight, as we give you tonight's starting lineups brought to you by Miller Genuine Draft, we'll have Kevin Garnett, Tom Gugliotta, and Dean Garrett, the G-Force up front with Stephon Marbury and Doug West. And Trent Tucker, when this five is on the floor, starting a game, the team has gone 18-15 this year.
A pretty good starting five. They got a guy who can run the show in Stephon Marbury. He must get everyone involved early.
Now for the Houston Rockets, Mario Elie, Hakeem Olajuwon, and Charles Barkley with the rookie Matt Maloney and Clyde Drexler in the backcourt. Now, the interesting thing about this team is that Barkley has only played 53 games and Drexler has only played 62 games. And both those players say that the MVP this year, the most consistent player, not Olajuwon, but Mario Elie.
Mario Elie is a key guy to this basketball team. A few years ago in Phoenix in the playoffs, he hit some huge shots for the Rockets. He's a guy who is very dangerous. He's a guy who can really get this basketball team going.
Now tonight's keys to the game brought to you by your local Heartland Chevrolet Geo dealer. Ball and player movement for the Timberwolves.
When the Timberwolves move the basketball, Kevin, along with player movement, like you see here, they get good shots at the basket, just like Terry Porter from the three-point line.
Moving that basketball will be key tonight. The second thing is pressure the basketball. In other words, play some defense.
You got to pressure the basketball, Kevin, to take the vision away from the passer. As you see Hakeem Olajuwon work in the middle of the Timberwolves defense. No ball pressure. Here's Mario Elie for the three.
And then a third statement, which we make every game, but seems to bear a tremendous amount of weight every time we talk about it, is the tempo of the game.
Now, Kevin, at playoff time, tempo is crucial because if you play too fast, the Rockets got good athletes who can get in the open court and make it happen.
Rudy Tomjanovich has this job. He's had it for 6 years now because Minnesota beat Don Chaney. They fired Chaney mid-season in the early 90s. They replaced him with a longtime Rocket player, scout, and assistant coach Rudy Tomjanovich. Since that game, he has been the head coach of this Rocket team, and they have had a great, great run. There's Flip Saunders, who has had some success in the CBA, coaching in a playoff atmosphere. I know he feels that's vital, getting this team ready to play tonight.
Yes, it is. I mean, this is big-time basketball for the Timberwolves, and the playoffs are here.
Referees Billy Oakes, Ron Elysiak, and Bennett Salvatore, a very experienced and very good crew. And we are underway as the first playoff appearance by the Timberwolves is on. A hook shot by Olajuwon with the rebound by Garnett. Here comes Minnesota.
A good start for the Timberwolves, Kevin, is a must.
Two rookies going head-to-head as Maloney takes on Marbury. And here is a screen to foul, and it's called on Tom Gugliotta down low.
So you can't have cheap fouls early in the ball game. When you stop the team on defense, you must come down on the offensive end and get a shot.
The Timberwolves have spent the last couple days studying every play that this Houston team runs. Here's Drexler outside the lane, can't get it to go. Nice defense by Doug West, a second rebound by Garnett.
Very strong defense by Doug West.
West with it again, and he'll face the defense of Clyde Drexler. Inside this time, Garnett's first shot in the playoffs. And the rebound by Drexler.
That could be a key matchup for the Timberwolves because Kevin Garnett can get his shot against Charles Barkley.
About a minute gone here in the first quarter. Minnesota has started 0-1. Rockets 0-2. Inside, trying to work his way in. Barkley. And it's out of bounds and off of Houston.
Good defense by the Timberwolves on their first three possessions. The Rockets tried all three All-Stars, and they came up empty.
These All-Stars, Barkley, Drexler, and Olajuwon, all bound for the Hall of Fame eventually. Outside to Stephon Marbury for three, with Gugliotta setting a sweet screen, and Minnesota leads it 3-0.
That's a huge basket for Stephon Marbury, a confidence builder.
1.5 gone here in the first quarter. Olajuwon working on Dean Garrett. That's a very tough thing for Garrett to work on. And the foul.
Excuse me.
On Garrett, that is his first.
That's his first.
How has Garrett played Olajuwon the last 4 games?
Just play him straight up. Stay behind him. Don't pick up cheap fouls.
Like right here. A single coverage, but Olajuwon gets it. But you're saying concede the points, just don't let anybody else get off.
Right. I mean, if you're going to play Olajuwon one-on-one, make him take tough shots. Just don't foul him and give him a 3-point play opportunity.
Here's Marbury, who's getting a lot of notice for Rookie of the Year around the NBA, and Garnett gets it out to Guglielmo. The shot clock is down to 5. The spin on Drexler, and he knocks it down. Tom Guglielmo has his first 2 playoff points ever.
The pass by Kevin Garnett to wait for Guglielmo to get open. Nice pressure by KG. Nice decision by Googs on the offensive end.
They worked on this in the shoot-around today. Ellie gets the pass out to Drexler. Now the shot clock is showing 9. Guglielmo outside from Maloney. Out of bounds. Off of Garrett.
Nice decision by the Timberwolves to go down and double-team Charles Barkley. Make him kick the ball to Matt Maloney. He's a good shooter, Kevin, but let's see if Matt Maloney can make playoff shots.
Nice feed inside, but intercepted by Guglielmo. They get it out to Stephon Marbury, and here comes Minnesota. They have hit 2 of their first 3, including a 3 by Marbury, and a miss there by Garrett.
See, those easy baskets right there, Kevin, must go down for the Timberwolves.
Here comes Clyde Drexler now, works on the defense of Doug West. Drexler has not scored. Outside Olajuwon, throws to Ellie. And then back to Akeem. Look at the spinning moves and finally dumping it on the wing for the 3. Make it a 2 by Mario Ellie.
It's a dream at work. Spinning to the lane, drawing the defense to him, making a nice kick-out pass to Mario Ellie.
Timberwolves lead by 1, under 9 minutes to play here in the first quarter. Screen by Garrett for Kevin Garnett. Rebound by Drexler.
Kevin shot it just flat. He needs to pick it up a little bit.
Maloney for 3. He takes more threes than any player on the Rockets, and he gives Houston their first lead tonight.
This is where the Timberwolves must be patient. Okay, the Rockets have hit 2 3-point shots. Come down, get back into your offense.
Here it's 7-5. With Minnesota down by 2. Good rebound by Kevin Garnett on the miss, and he follows with 2 right there, and he's got his first 2 playoff points.
Anytime you're on the road, Kevin, especially in the playoffs, you must be able to get second and third shots.
Here's Barkley, who has not scored. Down low to Drexler, also scoreless. Double team, Garnett knocks it away and out of bounds. That's a block shot by Kevin Garnett.
That's a great read by KG. He saw Clyde go to the spin, move to the baseline. He had no vision of the defense. Nice help out by Kevin Garnett.
Minnesota worked on this low post defense most of the morning today at the Summit in the shoot-around, and an outside 3 by Drexler will not go in. One out of bounds. Off Dean Garrett again. So he's working Olajuwon on that baseline. He just hasn't had much success so far, snaring any rebounds.
If you get the Rockets to miss the first shot, Kevin, you must get the defensive rebound.
Olajuwon with the miss. Rebound by Tom Guglielmo, and Minnesota the other way, tied at 7. Marbury, who has had success against the fellow rookie Maloney, inside. What a pass to Dean Garrett.
That's the thing Stephon can bring to this playoffs. Penetration and creativity.
Timeout taken by the Houston Rockets, who have started 3 of 10 from the field. Minnesota 4 of 8, and the Timberwolves in their first postseason ever, leading by 2, 9-7.
Was out to my aromatherapist.
On KQ92, you'll hear great classic rock and the best of the new stuff. Some stations play the same few songs over and over. 92 KQRS plays Minnesota's largest on-air music library, so you get lots of deep cuts from classic and new artists. For the best classic rock and the best new rock, compare their playlist, our playlist. KQ92, the Minnesota original.
Tom Hanneman back in Houston. Strong start for the Wolves, as you can see, which is what this man was worried about. Charles Barkley very vocal in a local paper, chiding fans to arrive early and make some noise. Yep, if the crowd shows up late, Minnesota could have a chance. Show up at 8:15, not 8:30, and raise a little hell. And, well, that's what's happened here early on. But fans in Houston haven't had as much to cheer about in the opening minutes because the Timberwolves have looked pretty good early on, Kevin.
Rockets have only gone, Tom, 3 of 10. Minnesota 4 of 8. Rockets have the ball. No changes on the floor. Olajuwon, Maloney, Barkley, Ellie, and Drexler for the Houston Rockets. First time the Barkley's headed inside like that. Kicks it out to Ellie, and another 3 for the rookie Maloney. That's his second triple tonight.
Very good ball movement by the Houston Rockets. The Timberwolves had to double team because Charles Barkley had the size advantage on Doug West.
The Rockets, a pretty good three-point shooting team, 11th in the NBA. And here's Marbury, and they flash Olajuwon's defense, and they let up, and that opens up 3. And from downtown, Marbury gets his second triple tonight.
He came off the pick and roll, Kevin. He felt the pressure of the double team. He kept the bounce alive. That's why he got free for the shot.
Interestingly enough, it's been the 2 point guards, both rookies, who have been the stars early in this game. Inside, they get it to go, and the Rockets have tied it at 12.
Can't have that, Kevin. No way. Mario Ellie should take the ball to the basket with no one stepping up.
Maloney is on Marbury. They send Ellie up on the 6'9", 6'10" Gugliotta. That's a mismatch there size-wise. Here's Kevin Garnett over Olajuwon. And Kevin, it's his second in a row.
See, against Charles Barkley, the Wolves can go inside and try to get some offense. If the Rockets double team down, kick the ball out to the shooters.
Here's Olajuwon again, and he's got 2. Little 2-man game with Maloney. They double with Marbury. Garrett got some help, but it didn't pay any dividend because it was another foul. It was called to Minnesota again. And Dean Garrett picks up his first personal foul tonight.
Nice inside pass by Matt Maloney to the Dream as he goes through his move. Dean Garrett got hanged up with Hakeem Olajuwon.
Well, here's Hakeem Olajuwon, a free throw shooter at 78%, the best ever from the free throw line this year. Well, on Tuesday, April 29th at 8:30, the Wolves welcome the Houston Rockets to Target Center for Game 3 of the playoffs. But before the game, come to Block E for a playoff block party. Players and coaches will be on hand for a rally. There'll be great music and more. Presented by Pepsi, MSC, AT&T, Target, and the Star Tribune. 5.5 to play here in the first quarter. We're tied at 14. Stephon Marbury has put in 3 three-point shots, and he's got 9 with an assist, and Minnesota leads at 17-14.
Is he a rookie or what here?
Maloney misses the 3, and it's off of Houston, and Minnesota will inbound the ball. That is phenomenal. What a start. 20 years old. Do you think he's fazed by the pressure of the playoffs?
Not at all. I mean, he is here in the playoffs.
So Marbury is hot. Here's West going across the lane. There's a foul called on Houston as they tried to block off the insertion of West in the paint. The foul called on Matt Maloney, the rookie.
You know, Kevin, just like hockey, if you get a hot goaltender, you can ride him through a playoff series. If you get a hot point guard, you also can ride him too.
Gugliotta working on Ellie down low. 5:10 to play in the first quarter. Wolves on top by 3. Garnett with the Garrett screen, and Kevin Garnett has hit his last 3 shots from the field. He's got 6, and Minnesota leads at 19-14.
You talked about the ball movement. Nice pass by Gugliotta to Kevin Garnett for the open shot.
That's off the foot of Kevin Garnett. Out of bounds off of Minnesota.
And you talk about all the experience of the Rockets. Drexler, Olajuwon, and Charles Barkley. But the 2 20-year-olds for the Timberwolves have stepped up big time.
It appears as though they're not fazed by the pressure. In fact, they look like they're about as loose as they can be. They're playing loose, they run well, and they're taking the nice bumping and grinding that the Rockets want to give them inside the lane.
Anytime you can get that first shot to go down in the playoffs, that really, really help your confidence.
Olajuwon works on Garrett. The quick double rejected by Dean Garrett and picked up by Stephon Marbury. Another 3, he's hit 3, and there's his first miss from outside, and it's off of Minnesota and back to the Rockets with 4.5 to play, and the Wolves leading by 5.
Nice defense by Dean Garrett. He stayed down, he was patient, he waited for Hakeem to go to his shot, and then he went for the block.
Maloney and Marbury trying to get Barkley free, and Gugliotta will work on him, and he forces Charles to take the backpedaling shot, and Barkley gets his first 2.
That's good defense by Googs, making Charles shoot through a hand.
Marbury working on Maloney. Gugliotta held by Ellie, and a foul call on Mario Ellie. Did not play in the final 2 regular season games to rest his ailing knees. And there's Gugliotta with the shiner under his eye. Got it in practice the other day from Chris Paul.
Practice was very physical this week for the Timberwolves, and you can see by the example of the black guy that Googs has. That's what you need at playoff time. Tough practices, tough-minded guys.
Kevin Willis comes in for the first time. Garnett, great pump fake, got Maloney out of his face, and that's the first miss in the last 4 for Kevin Garnett. Barkley the other way, draws the defense of Garnett. Minnesota by 3. And a foul called. McClendon, a little hand check on Kevin, trying to work on Charles Barkley.
You know, Kevin, that's where KG should back up and give Charles some room. Let Charles play with the basketball out at about 19 feet from the basket. If Charles can feel you, then he can make that quick move to the basket.
Sedale 3 comes in. The longtime veteran out of West Virginia Tech takes the place of the rookie Maloney. So 2 substitutions by Rudy Tomjanovich, none by Minnesota so far. And here comes Drexler. Nice kick out, caught by Mario Ellie. And Ellie hits the 3, and he's a good 3-point shooter, too. A career-high 42% this year, ties it at 19.
You know, he's a big-time 3-point shooter at playoff time.
Gugliotta loses the ball. They say it's knocked away by Ellie, and out of bounds it goes off of Houston, and the foul call on Ellie.
It's a nice move by Googs to take the ball right at Mario Ellie, because Googs can take him inside and work on Ellie, because Googs has the height advantage on Mario Ellie. Now here comes Eddie Johnson, another guy Googs can take off the dribble.
Eddie Johnson, another longtime veteran, checks in this game. Johnson, 37 years old. Here's a drive inside. Marbury takes it. A whistle and a foul called on Houston. So what do you sense of Minnesota's early game strategy?
They got nice patience. They got nice flow to their game. They're focused, and they have carried the game plan from the locker room onto the floor.
Marbury is a 72% free throw shooter. First 2 shots coming here. He went 3 of 3 from downtown. They missed his last one, and he hits his first free throw. And Stephon Marbury, who is the 3rd leading scorer on this team, but against Houston, averaging 2 points above the season average from 15 to 17 points a game. Hits the second as well. He leads everybody with 11 points.
And he knows that he can beat the Rockets point guards off the dribble, and that gives him great confidence in his game.
3:04 in the first quarter. Cherokee Parks will come in momentarily. And I think coaching in the playoffs becomes even more amplified. Every move is looked at. Gugliotta fell, and Drexler took advantage of it and takes it right down. And Clyde Drexler has his first 2 points of the game.
That's Clyde's game, Kevin, in transition.
Marbury working on 3. A 13-year veteran against the rookie Marbury, who pulls up and can't hit it. He's missed his last 2 from the field. 3 the other way. Barkley works on Kevin Garnett. 2.5 to play in the first quarter. Rockets have gone 8 of 17. Inside, Charles Barkley worked around Kevin Garnett, and Garnett picks up his second foul. Charles Barkley a bit surprised with his Rockets that we've got a tie game this late in the first quarter. Drexler gets his first 2, and we're tied on the Timberwolves television network.
It's him to take the jump shot.
Barkley is one of those performers whose performance rises significantly from the regular season to the postseason. In fact, as you take a look at the top 10 active players that have their games go to a completely different level in the playoffs, number 2 all-time among active players, Elijah Wan. Number 6 all-time is Charles Barkley, and number 10 is Clyde Drexler. I mean, a significant rise in the points they score, and the assists they dish out, and the rebounds they gather.
When you talk about winning championships, you need players who can take their games to the next level. Charles Barkley is a superstar, a Hall of Famer indeed.
8 years in Philadelphia, 4 years in Phoenix, in the playoffs, 11 of his 13 NBA seasons. So this is the second free throw. Barkley's got 3, and Minnesota trails by a point. Marbury looking inside. There's illegal defense. Cherokee Park's not for the first time. It's called on the Houston Rockets, and Barkley is whistled there.
Another key thing for Stephon tonight, Kevin, will be to recognize when the Rockets switch and the Timberwolves have a mismatch.
2:13 first quarter. Marbury gets it. He's hit 3 three-point shots. 3 comes out on him. There's Gugliotta. Nice knock away by the long arms of Kevin Willis. Retaken by Parks. Mitchell to Parks. And the pass a little bit wide. Check turnovers now. Minnesota commits their second right there. The Rockets have but 1.
And turnovers in a playoff game become crucial because it takes away an opportunity to score.
Comes 3. Marbury's on him. Gugliotta has Barkley. There's the pass to Barkley. Sometimes they don't want it down low out of Drexler. Good screen by Barkley. The switch on Minnesota caught them a little bit. And out of bounds it goes off of Minnesota.
It's a nice little rub play between Drexler and Charles Barkley to free up Clyde the Glide for the shot.
Here's Johnson out to Barkley. Gugliotta picks him up. Willis is picked up by Parks. And the quick double by Steph. That's what they did in the pregame warm-ups tonight. And a loose ball foul is called on Cherokee Park. So I think just got tangled up with Kevin Willis underneath.
That should be a no call. This is playoff time. Let the big guys play underneath.
You're going to see here a pick. Veterans trying to get the defensive matches to switch, right?
A little rub play between Clyde Drexler and Charles Barkley to free up Clyde for the shot.
Here's Kevin Willis at the free throw line, a 69% free throw shooter. At the low for minutes played in his career in terms of playing mostly the regular season. He averaged 11 points a game. Spent 10 years in Atlanta. And jumped around a little bit, a year in Miami, 2 in Golden State. Now he is here in Houston.
This finish of the first quarter will be a big plus for the Timberwolves.
Rockets
Strong
have,
finish. Sorry, Kevin.
Rockets have their biggest lead of 3. And Marbury down low is whacked pretty good. Sedale 3 picks up his second. This came off the bench. And Stephon Marbury takes his second trip to the free throw line tonight.
Gotta make the free throws.
Gotta hit him in Marbury tonight now. He's gone 2 of 3. Call 612-337-DUNK and get your 97-98 Timberwolves season tickets now. Now's your chance to get on board with the up-and-coming Wolves. What a season the team is having this year. Call 612-337-DUNK and lock in your season tickets for next year. 2-point game. Rockets on top by 2. They're shooting 42%. Minnesota shooting 53%. Here comes Drexler. Good feed to Barkley. Knocked away by Mitchell. Out of bounds. Off for Minnesota.
Nice reaction by Sam Mitchell to take away that basket from Charles Barkley. Charles picks up a technical foul. Nice quick hands by Sam Mitchell.
Gugliotta will shoot the free throw at the other end as Barkley is slapped with his first tee. Gugliotta set a career mark with 82% from the free throw line this year. I mean, just an incredible increase from his past. And Barkley gets the tee. Gugliotta brings the Minnesota Timberwolves to within 1 with 1:09 to play in the first. Eddie Johnson off the screen, off the quick inbound. He got it to go! What a shot! Mitchell draws the foul. Count the 2 and send Johnson to the free throw line.
Kevin, you always taught never to foul a jump shooter. Let him shoot the basketball through a hand. Not a good foul by Sam I am.
You love shots like that. You wanted the defense. You're taking that outside jump shot to come at you.
When the defense is running at you, you say, hey, just in time.
Nice three-point play for Eddie Johnson. Rockets have their biggest lead of 4. Wolves led earlier by 5 in this first quarter. Marbury's got 12 points and an assist with the rebound. Randy Livingston in the game. Outside to Mitchell, goes by Johnson. Tried to nail the runner and quick rebound by Kevin Willis. Out to Randy Livingston, looking from LSU. Drexler with the ball. Inside to Barkley, doubled. Outside, Drexler for three. Rebound by Marbury. He lost as he came down hard. And the Rockets end up with it. Drexler, great feed to Willis.
You know, the Timberwolves' first initial defense is good, but they can't get this off the defensive rebound, and you can't give the Houston Rockets second and third chances.
6-point game. Rockets' biggest lead tonight. We've had an 11-point turnaround in this first quarter with an 8-2 run by the Rockets, and Gugliotta slithering in, can't get it. Mitchell tries to follow. He can't get it to drop in a foul.
That's great work by Sam Mitchell on the offensive glass. The Timberwolves defense is good on the first initial play, but they must get the defensive rebound.
There's Sam Mitchell at the free throw line. His first free throws tonight, and he finished the regular season, last 24 games of the regular year, shooting 81% from the free throw line. So he was really on a tear, and you can see right there he picks up where he left off.
Because at playoff time, Kevin, when the game is winding down, you must have guys on the floor who can make free throws.
Marbury will take a breather for the final 12.9 seconds of this first quarter, and then he'll probably sit till about midway through the second. Mitchell once again. Free throw shooting for the Wolves tonight, 5 of 6. Rockets 6 of 7. And now Minnesota 6 of 7. So the free throw shooting the same. Wolves only 2 turnovers, and they trail by 4 after leading by 5. This is Barkley for 3, and he is not a good three-point shooter, just 28%. Johnson is a good shooter, and he puts it in, beating the buzzer. And the Rockets lead the first quarter, leading by 6, as Eddie Johnson comes off the bench to put in 5. And at the end of 1, the Rockets 31, Minnesota 25, and this is the Minnesota Timberwolves Television Basketball Network.
He knows what it takes to win. They're without some pieces, you know, but they still have a good ball club. So we know they're going to come out a whole lot more aggressive on Sunday and play us a tougher ball game. I really feel that we got to come out and approach the game the same way we approach it this evening. We'll have no problem.
All right, thanks a lot. Congratulations.
All right, thanks a lot.
Let's go back to Vern.
All right, Brian, thank you. Final score 99-64. The Miami Heat run out to a 35-10 first quarter lead. They jump out and 22-2 at one point. And the brackets now, New York and Miami winners tonight in the East over Charlotte and Orlando, respectively. Tomorrow night, the Bulls, top seed in the East, and the defending champions open against Washington. And Doc and I will be in Atlanta for Game 1, Atlanta versus Detroit. Back at the Miami Arena right after this message.
Of course, the regular season, he came in here, added a veteran leadership and a great shooting percentage. This one right here beats the buzzer.
Offensive rebounding has killed the Timberwolves in the first quarter. That's why the Rockets lead by 6.
Garnett, West, Terry Porter, Mitchell, and Garrett for the Timberwolves, who trailed by 6, their biggest deficit tonight. We begin the second quarter with Sam Mitchell taking it inside, and he can't hit the shot. He's 0-2 starting off from the field. Johnson, Willis, Elijah Wan, Livingston, and Drexler. Livingston inside. They call a charge on the rookie.
Great work by Doug West. This man went away from the play, but Doug West kept his eye on the basketball, and that's why he was in position to help out Terry Porter.
Doug West is as focused as I have seen him. Then at that shoot-around, he was so intense and almost coaching on the floor before the coaches could say what they had spotted. That's how into these playoffs he is, and why not? West with the runner, and he can't get it to go, but a foul is called, and Doug will go to the free throw line. Eddie Johnson picks up that foul.
See, Kevin, as the Timberwolves gain more experience and they play together longer, they would recognize small things on the floor. Akeem Olajuwon was guarding Doug West. They should have cleared it out, say, Doug, take the big fellow one-on-one.
So here's Doug West at the free throw line for the Timberwolves, and a 68% free throw shooter this year. Missed one game with an injury against the Rockets, but in the other 3 games against Houston this year, 5 points, 8 points, and in the final meeting, 10 points. And he gets that to go down as well. Doug West picks up his first 2, And what about that inside from Kevin Garnett with some defense, and it's a 2-point game.
Those long arms by Kevin Garnett came up with the steal and the dunk.
Inside the Rockets with Akeem Olajuwon working on Dean Garrett, who picks up his second personal foul.
It's a quick spin move to the baseline by the Dream, using his body very well to protect it against Dean Garrett to pick up the foul and the basket.
Olajuwon did not have the season statistically he was hoping for. Then again, he was surrounded by a lot of his cohorts, and the team, of course, making a huge trade with Phoenix to bring Barkley here. So the depth on this team wasn't all that it was cracked up to be, and the statistics of Olajuwon suffered. Double team Garnett gets it out to West for 3. Rebound by Olajuwon. Out to Randy Livingston. Here come the Rockets on top by 4. 10.5 to play in the first half. Willis on Mitchell. Doubled by Garnett. Out to Eddie Johnson. Rebound Olajuwon. Rebound Eddie Johnson. A 2-point shot. Another offensive rebound picked up by Olajuwon, and that is where Houston is getting Minnesota.
That's what's killing the Timberwolves. Offensive rebounding by the Rockets.
Olajuwon likes to play that perimeter game. Picks up the defense of both Garnett and Garrett. Nice ball rotation to Drexler. He lost it trying to go up and jam.
Yes, he did. He lost the ball.
3-on-2. Porter decides for West, and Doug comes up with 2 more, and he's got 4, and Minnesota back to within 2 again.
That's nice transition basketball by the Wolves. A nice finish by Doug West. Great hustle by Doug West.
Hustling Doug West clears some traffic and some shoving between Garnett and Kevin Willis. That is something we have not seen much this year.
I think Kevin Willis gave KG a shot, and Kevin Garnett is not happy with Kevin Willis at this time.
Willis, who has played in the NBA 12 years, has been in the playoffs 6 times. You know he feels that they can get inside a rookie's head like Marbury or a second-year guy's head like Kevin Garnett.
The last game, he punched Sam Mitchell. It was missed by the officials. It just wound up and caught him in the jaw. The entire team saw it, so they're looking out for it tonight. They won't take much from him, Kevin.
Olajuwon double team, got the shot away. Rebound by Garrett, outlet to Porter. Here come the Wolves, 9.5 to play in the half.
One way the Timberwolves can cure the offensive rebounding of the Rockets is by having all 5 guys in the paint.
Porter picked up by Mario Elie, the best defensive player on this team. Robinson in the game, launching a 3, and he's coming off a game up in Salt Lake against the Jazz where he hit 7 3-point shots in a 28-point performance that was absolutely incredible. The spin by Willis, the reverse, and it's down. What a play by Kevin Willis.
Sam Mitchell was leaning to the middle. Kevin Willis, the quick spin move to the baseline for the basket. You can see Sam Mitchell resting on the left hand of Kevin Willis, but he feels the pressure from the middle, and he goes to the open side of the floor for the basket.
There is no doubt, as they will wipe that free throw away, Gugliotta will check in. But with Shaquille O'Neal being signed by the Los Angeles Lakers, the Rockets felt they had to beef up too, thus the acquisition of Barkley and Kevin Willis.
Because playoff basketball means inside play, and you need big guys who can dominate in the paint.
It's 35-31. The Rockets by 4. They've led by 6. Wolves led in the first quarter by 5. Rockets at the end of 1, led by 6. Porter into Dean Garrett with a nice move and a great feed by Terry Porter.
Great penetration by TP. Felt the pressure. Nice kickoff to Dean Garrett.
Minnesota once again to within 2. So playing very good against a Houston team that beat them 4 times this past year. Elie with the miss, Mitchell with the rebound. Wolves have a chance to tie or take a lead.
That's good defense. Now the Timberwolves are forcing the Rockets to shoot the ball from the perimeter.
For the lead, Porter misses the 3. Rockets by 2. Here comes Elie the other way, looking for Willis, and those long arms of Kevin Garnett got in the way, and 8:20 to play in the first half.
We talked about tempo, Kevin. That shot by Terry Porter was not tempo. Not a good shot in that sequence.
Elie inbounds. Eddie Johnson wide open and hits the jump shot.
He's a great shooter. He's one of the few guys in this league who can get hot and he can stay hot for the entire basketball game.
So it's 37-33. The Rockets by 4. Eddie Johnson off the bench has put in 7 to co-lead the Rockets in scoring. Gugliotta drawing a quick double, and then outside it goes. Garnett finding Porter. Shot clock at 4, and he had to put it up, and he does. A 3 by Terry Porter, and Minnesota to within 1.
That's tempo. The ball went inside, outside, from one side to the other. Nice play by the Timberwolves.
Here comes Zelly to Eddie Johnson and into Elijah Wan. Again, they double him, and outside it goes to Johnson again. They'll take it on the fly, trying to tap in his own miss. Knocked away by Garrett, picked up by Ellie. Down the lane he goes and counted for 2.
Kevin Garnett was on the break. Don't need to run the break. Get the ball first. All 5 guys for the Timberwolves must get into the paint. Here's Eddie Johnson going to the basket. He misses. Now he gets a tap. But where's the 5th guy? Kevin Garnett. He's at half court. Mario Elliott, 3-point play opportunity.
With a career high 89% from the free throw line this past season. Hits the free throw, and Mario Elliott, former 7th-round pick by the Milwaukee Bucks when the draft went 7 rounds, has been in the playoffs every year he has been a pro. Matt Maloney back in the game. The veteran Porter can operate on him. Shot clock at 10, big clock at 7:10. Garnett weaseling his way inside. Dean Garrett cleans it up but can't get it to go. And that's a foul called on Houston. And Kevin Willis is upset as he draws the foul.
That's nice work by Dean Garrett to get in good position to offensive rebound.
That is the second team foul.
There's Dean Garrett at the free throw line, the NBA's oldest rookie. He was 30 this past November, starting the final 44 games of the regular season and looking great, averaging 10 points, 9 rebounds a game. Well, the next game coming up here at Houston, game 2 of this best of 5, radio only. There's no television locally except on NBC, and we'll have the game on radio. Hope you can join us this Saturday at 12 noon, pregame at 11 o'clock on KFAN radio. Here's Maloney. And a pass which was thrown to the unsuspecting Elijah Wan. Maloney again got free and over Robinson. Can't hit. Good rebound off balance by Gugliotta, his second.
That's good defense by James Robinson. Making Matt Maloney put the ball on the floor.
Porter inside, trying to throw through a maze of arms and hands inside the lane. Out of bounds it goes. Minnesota with their 3rd turnover. Rockets have 3 turnovers and a timeout taken by the Timberwolves. 6.5 to play in the first half. The Rockets lead by 3. This is the Minnesota Timberwolves Television Basketball Network.
And one reason the Rockets is still in lead in this ball game, Kevin, is because of second chances. The Timberwolves must put all 5 players in the paint. Secure the ball first before you go on the break.
Flip Saunders has put in Dean Garrett, Gugliotta, and Garnett. So the G-Force back in there with Porter and Hollywood Robinson as the 2 guards in the backcourt. Here comes Ellie. Willis to Eddie Johnson. Picked up by Garnett, and that is a tough chore to shoot a 3 over that long wingspan of Kevin Garnett, which Eddie Johnson just found out.
He's quick enough, Kevin, to give you some room, and then those long arms can still bother you on the shot.
Here's Terry Porter. Maloney is on him. Gugliotta drawing a double from Maloney. Porter is free on top. Shot clock at 5, and Gugliotta takes it inside himself and can't get it to go. Picked up by Elijah Wan. Here comes Maloney the other way. Elijah Wan in for Kevin Willis and colliding with Tom Gugliotta. And that took guts on the part of Gugliotta.
Yes, it did.
Because he knew that Willis was in full stride right down the lane.
That's his 2nd personal foul.
Inside to Elijah Wan. Nice dump off to Kevin Willis. That's a playoff foul.
And Willis at the line, shooting 2.
Gugliotta has his second foul. 2 on Garnett, 2 on Gugliotta, 2 on Garrett. And the first free throw by Kevin Willis. A 69% free throw shooter is in. Here comes Stephon Marbury back in the game. Terry Porter will take a breather. Porter, another one of those active NBA players that has his numbers jacked way up come playoff time. He did it in Portland for so many years. Now we'll see if it holds true with the Timberwolves, who now trail Houston by 4. Marbury on Maloney. Robinson Wolves are shooting 44%. Rockets 38. Nice spinner by Kevin Garnett. He's got 10. He is gone 5 of 9 from the field. And the 2 young kids are leading the Timberwolves. They've scored half of their points. Elijah with a sweet fadeaway on the baseline.
Nice turnaround jump shot on one end by Kevin Garnett. A sweet turnaround jump shot by the Dream.
Marbury's got 12. Garnett's got 10. They've accounted for 22 of the 39 points. Stephon on the fly. Rebound by Eddie Johnson out to Maloney. Quick releasing Elliott the other end, but Minnesota got back well.
Very good job by the Timberwolves in transition on defense.
Now they'll try to post up Gugliotta, and here is Willis with the hook. Rebound by Tom Gugliotta. His third lasso tonight. Gugliotta to Marbury. Robinson from downtown. He can't get it to go. Willis, a very fast tempo now for this game.
That's where James Robinson needs to knock down a 3 for the Timberwolves. He can get that shot in transition.
Eddie Johnson for 3. Rebound by Allen, and that has killed Minnesota tonight. Oh, and out of bounds. Marbury grabbed the rebound. So Houston will inbound. 4.5 to play in the half.
You know, Kevin, the Rockets got quick jumpers. So you must put a body on them first. Because if you try to out-jump quick jumpers, they will get to the offensive glass.
Doug West brought back in. Robinson takes a breather. So the starting 5 back out there to conclude the first half. Elijah makes his move into Dean Garrett. Knocked away and stripped by Stephon. And Hakeem Olajuwon, and the foul called right there on Houston. Olajuwon surprisingly turns that ball over quite a bit.
And if you can get Olajuwon to spin and shake, that's when guys can come from the blind side and knock the ball away. Good defense by Dean Garrett. Nice help out by Stephon Marbury.
Olajuwon had a career high in turnovers this year. Stephon maneuvered around the screen, got open, and hit the nice, swift jump shot.
That's a great decision by Stephon Marbury. He cleared the defense, didn't take the ball to the basket because Olajuwon was there. Nice pull-up J.
It is a 2-point game. And Barkley back in, working on Gugliotta, and outside to Maloney for 3.
He's a good shooter. He can knock it down.
Maloney has 3 3-point hits so far, and he's given the Rockets another lead of 5. Marbury, Maloney on him. 8 3-point shots hit. Nice feed. Stephon inside Garrett. Put back in by Kevin Garnett, who isn't waiting. He's got 12. Marbury's got 14. The Timberwolves trail by 3.
That's nice basketball by Kevin Garnett. His man left for the double team. He went to the offensive glass for the rebound.
Maloney for 3 again. Oh, is he hot? He's hit 4 from downtown in the first half.
He can shoot the basketball. The Rockets are finding Matt Maloney, and he is knocking down 3-point shots.
Marbury, who just took it down at the other end, on the possession before, got his first 2 points in the second quarter after getting 12 in the first. Works on Maloney again. Looking for Garrett. He's picked up by Olajuwon. There's a shot clock at 4 as Gugliotta with a great feed to Garrett. Rebound by Drexler. Here's the fast break and down court and early releasing Ellie. Drexler.
That's the Rockets game in transition. Quick miss by the Timberwolves. Great transition basketball by the Rockets.
Clyde Drexler, who averages 18 points a game, puts in his 4th point tonight with the quick release, and the Rockets on top by 8 on the Timberwolves television network.
Pizza Hut memo number 24. Kids, well, you dared folks to take the best pizza value challenge, and they did.
Pizza's here, guys.
Boy, are they taking it. You dared them to find a better pizza value for $9.99 than our large one-top pizzeria stuffed crust with the specially blended sauce and the ring of cheese baked right on the edge.
It's no contest.
And you dared the kids, too. Big mistake. Never dare a kid when it comes to pizza.
That kid just ate 6 slices of pizza.
Pizzeria stuffed crust pizza for $9.99. The real challenge is going to be you making them fast enough.
Well, if I had money, I'd tell you what I'd do. I'd go downtown, buy a Ford truck or two. I'm crazy about a Ford truck. Lord, I'm crazy about a Ford truck. I'm gonna buy me a Ford truck and cruise it up and down the road. I'm gonna buy me a Ford truck and cruise it up and down the road. The best built, best selling American trucks are built Ford tough. Woo!
Transition has been a trademark of the Rockets for a long time.
Here's one of the best guys in transition in NBA history, Clyde Drexler. The quick pass to Mario Elie. The nice give back to Clyde Drexler for the finish.
Drexler's got 4, Olajuwon's got 8, and Barkley's got 3. It has been Elie with 10 and the rookie Maloney with 12 that has really made a difference, and you can see right here what this Hall of Fame-to-be trio brings to a game like this.
You know, Matt Maloney has been very steady here in the first half, but Kevin, these 3 guys here is the main reason the Houston Rockets will have a good chance to win the NBA championship.
In fact, if you put Willis and Eddie Johnson with that group, you've got the 5 most potent scorers on one team in the history of the NBA. Rockets on a 10-4 run, 2.5 to play here in the first half. 51-43 Houston.
Crucial stage in the game right now. Let's see how the Timberwolves can finish off this second quarter.
There's Marbury for 3. He knocks it down. That's his 4th three-point shot tonight.
The young rookie with the answer.
4 threes, Marbury with 17 to lead the game. And Minnesota comes to within a 51-46 reach. Elie for 3. It's become a downtown shooting exhibition.
The Rockets got good three-point shooters, but the Timberwolves must still go down and double team. That's a good job by Doug West. If the Rockets can make that shot, hey, you just have to live with that.
Wikipedia cross-scooting inside, knocked away. Nice defensive 3-on-2. Drexler. Blocked, and there's a charge on Clyde Drexler.
That's some guts by Doug West. He's made 2 nice defensive plays for his team tonight. Here's the glide.
West took it, Garnett felt it, and Marbury watched it. I'll tell you what, Doug West has taken a couple whacks like that tonight. He cracked his head that time, too, when he fell backwards.
But this is playoff basketball. You must be willing to give up your body for the benefit of the team.
Yeah, body is one thing, your head is another.
As long as it stays intact and don't come off, it's got to stay in the game.
Is that the way you look at it? Here comes Marbury. 1.5 to play in the half, and here's Garnett. Picked up by Barkley. Guglielmo has not hit an outside shot yet. He's got 3, and they fight for it out of bounds, and look at the hustle by young Stephon Marbury. It's Houston's ball.
As I mentioned, Kevin, this is a crucial part of the game. This is where the Timberwolves must stay focused and not allow the Rockets to get away. Great hustle by Stephon Marbury.
Down to 1:15 to play in the first half. Here comes Barkley working on Guglielmo again. Drexler for a 3, and he can't get it to go. And Clyde Drexler tonight has gone 2 of 9 from the floor. Marbury got the screen from Garnett. Another 3. Will it be 5? It'll stay at 4. Rebound by Hakeem Olajuwon. He's got 7.
Maybe the Rockets need to double team off Clyde Drexler and make him shoot the 3-point shot.
Barkley took it inside and met all kinds of defensive traffic, and a foul is called on Minnesota. Doug West picks it up, and for Doug, his 2nd of the game.
And this team is so tough, Kevin, when the 3-point shooters are making their shots. Now you have to make a decision. Do you stay home and let the trio of Drexler and Olajuwon and Barkley play one-on-one basketball? It's a tough decision for the Timberwolves coaching staff.
And with a look at what's on tap, let's send it over to Tom Hanneman.
All right, Kev, ahead at the half. We'll tip things off with a special musical tribute to the Timberwolves' finest season. I think you'll enjoy this one. Update tonight's NBA playoff scores, and later in the Miller Lite moment, Flip Saunders reviews the Wolves' biggest win of the year. Back to you.
Annie, I saw that halftime feature you put together, that music video. It is easily one of the nicest things that you've done in your 8 years. I tip my hat to you because it's just... It was so well done, and I'm looking forward to seeing it again at halftime.
Thank you very much, Jeff.
A 10-point Rocket lead. Barkley now has got 5. So the big 3 with a total of 17 points of the 56 of the Rockets. Unexpected indeed. Saved by Houston. 35 seconds to play in the half.
They are a well-balanced basketball team, and to be a champion, you need to have balance.
A 3, Barkley, and he puts it in.
They're on a good roll right now. Matt Maloney got this basketball team on a roll, and they have continued.
And it's coming at the worst of times right before halftime.
Yes, it is.
Shot clock and game clock basically the same. Here's Stephon, who's had an unbelievable first half. Marbury trying to get this one up, and he does. Marbury with 19 points, 6 of 10. And he's got 4 3-point shots. That's a foul.
That's a terrible call. And Charles Barkley had no way to score. Stephon was hustling. There's no way you should make that call in that sequence.
Well, you look at it again. What do you think?
I mean, that should be a no call.
Well, it was made by one of the better referees in the NBA, Ronald Lesiak. And here's Charles Barkley at the free throw line. When Barkley came here, he said, I will rebound. Let's take a look at Bennett Salvatore. He said, I will rebound. But they needed scoring, too, because they gave up almost a quarter of this team to get him from Phoenix. And so he has had to score.
Anytime you're trying to make that run, Kevin, to the championship level, you need 3 guys who can get it done for you. And Charles Barkley can bring great offense to the Houston Rockets.
In that trade that brought Barkley here, Sam Cassell, Robert Horry, Chucky Brown, Mark Bryant. And I'm sure with that trade, they were thinking about what Los Angeles was doing, but also Seattle, because Barkley against Seattle in that half-court trap, I think, will be deadly if they get that far. Willis could take on Kemp. But then I guess the question is, who is going to stop Gary Payton? Because with Sam Cassell gone, who's going to stop him?
But Matt Maloney has really energized this basketball team. The Timberwolves gambled that Matt Maloney could knock down the open jump shots at playoff time. Here in the first half for the Rockets, he has delivered.
So here's Charles Barkley, who has something to say to Stephon Marbury as the 2 walk out there. And Tom Hanneman showed us earlier on that Barkley had said some pretty interesting things about the Timberwolves. First of all, he thinks this is going to be a great team over the next 3 or 4, 5 years. He was quoted in the Houston papers recently as saying this is the team to watch in the NBA. But he also said that look out, Minnesota, because a train is about to hit you. So it was kind of a veiled compliment. Long shot at the buzzer goes for naught. Rockets, who had Minnesota to within 1 point, watch Stephon Marbury put a 19, but Rudy Tomjanovich had this team with some jets toward the end of the first half, and they build a lead of 13 points at the end of 1. 61-48, the Rockets by 13. Tom Hanneman at halftime coming up next.
The critics agree Volcano is spectacular, explosively entertaining, and eye-popping thriller. Hold on! Take the ride. Volcano has it all. Rated PG-13. The coast is toast tomorrow.
So how you like baseball so far? Well, playing in the Dome does take some getting used to. But I tell you what, in 87 and 91, those were some good times. The noise, the crowd, it was unbelievable. But this is baseball. Playing outside with your friends, it's nice.
baby, tell me, have you heard about the stuff they got on WB? Cause everybody knows the WB's the place to go to entertain your family. Yeah. On the WB.
Something like that. Today's flight is a special one.
Meet the first-class passenger.
Makes the Manson family look like the Partridge family.
Of Con Air.
Where are you going with my plane?
We're going to Disneyland.
Now, it may be their party, but someone...
We have a traitor in our midst.
...is about to crash it. From Jerry Bruckheimer, producer of The Rock.
It's on your mind, hillbilly. Goodbye.
Con Air, rated R, directed by Simon West. Starts Friday, June 6th.
You ain't seen nothing until you see the next America's Funniest Home Videos. There's something funny going on here. Weekdays at 5:30.
Halfway home here in Houston, game one, the Timberwolves trail the Rockets 61-48. Well, tonight as the Wolves get their first taste of the playoffs, we thought you might enjoy looking at what was a remarkable regular season.
Enjoy the game, man. Enjoy the game. Let's do it, man. Keep it on 3. 1, 2, 3, do it.
In every heart, there is a drum that beats steady and strong. It does not know defeat. I feel it high and know the sound of true. In every soul, there is a memory of standing tall, the proudest we could be. I cannot fall, for I recall we were born in majesty. And when the long night had been fought and won, we'll stand in the sun, and we will raise our hands, and we will touch the sky. Together we will dance in robes of gold, and we will lead the world remembering when we were kings, when we were kings.
Down court for Garnett, down the lane, and the jam! Here we come, playoffs!
And when the long night has been fought and won, we'll stand in the sun. We'll raise our hands. We'll touch the sky. Together we will dance in robes of gold. And we will lead the world remembering when we were kings. When we were kings. When we were kings.
Indeed, a remarkable regular season. Tonight's NBA playoff scores are coming up next. At the half here in Houston, the Timberwolves trailed the Rockets by 13 on the Minnesota Timberwolves television network.
There are some people who always seem to know the best way to get where they need to go. You'll find them on Northwest Airlines, traveling to hundreds of destinations in Europe, Asia, and North America. So wherever you're aiming to go, the best direction ahead is always Northwest. Take it from the 1996 PGA Tour Player of the Year.
Some people just know how to fly.
Dodge Ram is #1 in resale versus Ford, Chevy, and GMC. #1 in horsepower, #1 in torque, even #1 in payload and overall power. In fact, Dodge Ram is #1 in more categories than any full-size pickup. So by changing all the rules about what a truck should be, Dodge pickups are now #1 in sales growth all across America. Dodge Ram starts as low as $14,715. See the friendly Dodge dealer near you.
Hey, wake up!
Wake up!
This is my McDonald's.
This is an Egg McMuffin.
And this is the greatest thing to happen to breakfast since the Egg McMuffin.
We call it a my-size meal. Buy any drink, any size. Coffee, soft drink, orange juice.
And hash browns.
And get one of 4 hot breakfast sandwiches for just 55 cents.
Look at all these sizes.
55 cents in honor of 1955, the year it all began.
Any size, every day.
If this doesn't get you going,
Go back to bed.
Halftime at the Rockets launching pad where Houston leads the Wolves 61-48. Quick spin around the league now on this Thursday night, delivered to you by the U.S. Postal Service. Opening night with the 1997 NBA playoffs, and look at what happened to the Orlando Magic. They lost to Miami. Magic with an all-time playoff low. Earlier tonight, New York takes a 1-0 series lead out east, and as you see, Utah at the Delta Center, game 1 just underway against the Clippers. Our Miller Lite moment is coming up next. This is the Minnesota Timberwolves Television Network.
Ты отдохнешь. Мы снова будем счастливы. Будем жить долго, долго, долго. Нам повезем жизнь новую, светлую.
When it comes to family transportation, your Northland Ford dealers know safety is important to you, so they know you'll love the 1998 5-Star Edition Ford Windstar LX, the only minivan to receive the government's 5-star safety rating. And it's loaded with extras, like Windstar's new family entry system, quad captain's chairs, 2-tone paint, aluminum wheels, power windows and locks, plus no-charge rear heat and air, all with rebates and package savings of over $3,200. For safe family transportation, choose the 5-Star Edition Ford Windstar.
For every lap we lead this year, we're donating $25 to St. Jude Children's Research Hospital.
For every pole position we win, we're donating $1,000.
And $5,000 for every victory. Man, this could get expensive.
This copyrighted broadcast of the National Basketball Association may not be retransmitted, reproduced, or rebroadcast without the express written consent of the NBA.
It's time for the Miller Lite moment, brought to you by Miller Lite. When you've got the great taste of an ice-cold Miller Lite, life is good. In a season full of great moments and memorable performances, one particular game stands out for Coach Flip Saunders.
The Laker game, because of where we were, 8-17, very down, whole organization, team down, knowing we had to come back. If we didn't get the Lakers, you had New York, Utah. Those are your 2 next opponents, and so that was a really, really big game. And I think we had 4 home games in a row, and so that really, I think, kind of reset the tone as far as for the season.
After a dismal West Coast trip, the Wolves found themselves 9 games below 500, facing yet another forgettable season. On the horizon were games with the Lakers, Jazz, and Knicks. And then it happened. The Wolves put together one of their best efforts of the season as they knocked off the powerhouse Lakers 103-88. Kevin Garnett led all scorers that night with 23 points as Minnesota kicked off a 4-game homestand in style. The victory appeared to jumpstart the Wolves. They went on to knock off New York and Utah on the homestand to get the season going in the right direction.
We knew early in the year that we had a tough schedule, and we had some injuries early. Stephon, Kevin both got hurt early in the year, which kind of hurt us a little bit. But that's probably the biggest win because I think that really kind of set the tone.
Kevin and Trent return with first half highlights next. The Rockets 61-48 here in Houston.
It's back.
Supercomputer sale.
Bigger than before. The 9th annual Supercomputer Sale returns to the State Fairgrounds. Over 80 dealers from the Midwest combine to bring you the biggest computer sale ever. Over $10 million. In inventory up to 75% off. 75% off. This Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Hardware, software, accessories, and more. IBM, Apple, Mac, Microsoft, Intel, and many more. Prices never seen before. Computers from $99. Notebooks from $3.99. Printers from only $49. New used overstocks and closeouts, most with warranties. Software from 99 cents. This Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. The biggest computer liquidation ever. Hurry for the best selection. A Blue Star production.
Don't miss the #1 movie everyone's screaming about. Siskel and Ebert give Anaconda 2 thumbs up. A creepy, crawly pleasure. Anaconda, rated PG-13, now playing in theaters everywhere.
Critics agree Volcano is spectacular, explosively entertaining, and eye-popping thriller.
Hold on!
Take the ride. Volcano has it all. Rated PG-13. The coast is toast tomorrow.
On an all-new Seventh Heaven, Eric's faith in a total stranger will tear apart his family.
Monday at 7 on WB23.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Summit here in Houston, Texas. 61-48 is the score with the Houston Rockets on top of the Minnesota Timberwolves. And with Trent Tucker, this is Kevin Harlan. It was an interesting first half. Minnesota led by 5 in the first quarter. Fell behind by 13 as things wound down. Some big shots by Eddie Johnson. Barkley got hot toward the end. And the tempo, we talked about it before the game, the tempo seemed to kind of get out of hand for the Wolves, too.
You know, Matt Maloney hit some big shots in that late in the second quarter to jumpstart the Rockets. But offensive rebounding, second and third chances by the Rockets kept them in the ball game when the Timberwolves had a chance to do some damage.
To Tom Hanneman and the coach.
All right, Flip, you had to be very pleased with what you saw from Stephon Marbury, Kevin Garnett, outscoring the big 3 in the first half.
Well, everyone said you didn't know what to expect from the young guys. They played well, and we played pretty well first half. We had a poor 2.5-minute stretch. And the one thing they did is they hit some big 3-point shots. And we went in the game saying we got to stop their big 3. And right now they're 7 for 22. So what's happened is their other players have stepped up. And so, like I said, with this team, you got to pick your poison.
Corrections you're looking for in the second half from your club, offensive boards?
That, we need to rebound better. And we're going to try to outscore them by 14 this half. If we do, we'll be in good shape.
Sounds good to me. Thanks, Flip. He always has those equations down so well, doesn't he, guys?
Very smart guy. Math major at the University of Minnesota. Here's our Pepsi big slam of the game. It was turned in on a steal by Kevin Garnett.
Long arms by Kevin Garnett. Great anticipation. Picks up the basketball for the flush.
And Stephon Marbury hit 4 3-point shots in that first half.
This guy's no rookie. Stephon Marbury in total control of his game.
And fellow rookie Matt Maloney for the Rockets matched Stephon 3 for 3.
You know, he gives the Rockets great balance. Great inside players by the Rockets, but he can knock down the open shot when you go double team.
I'll look at our halftime statistics brought to you by Silicon Graphics. Field goal percentage the same. 3-point shooting about the same. Free throw shooting basically the same. Rebounding is a difference.
Rebounding and bench points. Eddie Johnson came in and gave him a nice lift along with Kevin Willis.
Marbury 19, 4 threes, Garnett 12. Which flips in. It's interesting to see how these two young kids are showing their wares here tonight. And Ellie and Maloney have been the big stories for the Rockets. The big three have only combined for 22 points. Barkley, Olajuwon, and Drexler.
Ellie and Maloney knew they had to make shots from the perimeter because they knew the Timberwolves would go down and double team the big three. If they can continue to knock down open shots, then the Timberwolves must rethink of what they're going to do on defense.
All right, how about some other keys for Minnesota to get back in this game? They trail by 13.
A good start at the beginning of the third quarter. Don't rush themselves. There's 24 minutes of basketball left. Stay to your game plan.
Well, Minnesota has had a lot of rallies to come back and win games this year. But they got to get Tom Gugliotta going. He's only got 3 points, and he has only taken 5 shots, which to me is incredible because during the regular season, he took more than 200 shots more than the next nearest guy on the roster.
He's got to become more aggressive with the basketball. He has got to get himself involved in the game. He must will himself into this game.
Gugliotta, the leading scorer and the leading rebounder on this team this year. And we start the second half with the Rockets on top 61-48. Kevin Garnett for 3. He knocks that down. And Kevin Garnett, not known as a three-point shooter, has just knocked in another 3, his 7th of the year.
Very good decision by Kevin Garnett not to force the pass to Gugliotta.
3 by Mario Ellie. And that's the 8th 3 hit by the Rockets tonight. Ellie has been on a tear.
He's on fire from the three-point line.
Marbury working on Maloney. Rookie against rookie. Shot clock at 7. Gugliotta over Maloney as they have the defensive switch, and Tom is 1 of 6. The rebound by Hakeem Olajuwon. He's got 8 with 8 points.
You got to find a way, Kevin, to get Tom Gugliotta the basketball on the block against Mario Ellie. Drexler.
Clyde has been struggling too. He is now 2 of 10. Loose ball foul assessed Minnesota. Call that Doug West, and he's got 3.
See, it's the little things now, Kevin, that's hurting the Timberwolves. Charles Barkley is on the offensive glass. But who is trying to block out Charles Barkley? Doug West. Where's the bigger player who should be on Charles Barkley?
Game of matchups.
That's it. You can't have mental breakdowns at playoff time.
Ellie into Olajuwon. Only against Garrett. West kind of showed some defense, really didn't exploit his defense, and Olajuwon's got 10. 22nd timeout, wisely taken by the Timberwolves. It's 66-51, the Rockets leading by their largest margin of 15 points. So they begin the second half the way they closed out the first with some big plays. Hey, register now for the Flip Saunders Summer Basketball Camps. Open to 2nd through 12th grade boys and girls. 5 full days of instruction with Timberwolves head coach and general manager Flip Saunders. Wolves player also attends each camp. And for information, call that number right there, 612-673-1674. I don't think, young lady, you're old enough to go, but it could be in your future. Listen to your mama, eat your greens, grow your hair long like that, and you may have a chance. Flip Saunders Basketball Camps, presented by Pepsi Cup Foods and by Nike. 10-11 play in the third quarter. Marbury down the lane with the runner into Olajuwon, but it couldn't go down. And a rebound by Charles Barkley, one of the top rebounders in the NBA. 13 a game. He's averaging 3 tonight inside. He tried to force the issue and drew a foul out of Minnesota's defense.
And now, Kevin, what I'm starting to see from the Timberwolves, they are starting to hang their heads a little bit. No need to hang your heads. Keep yourself involved in the basketball game. You can't allow Charles Barkley to get the rebound from one end and take it coast to coast, for no one was in his way to pick him up.
Rockets had Barkley for the month of April, and they showed it. They went 9-2, and Barkley led the team in rebounding 9 of those 11 games. Coming into the postseason, the Rockets have won 4 consecutive games and 7 consecutive games here in the summer.
They need Charles Barkley in this lineup, Kevin, because he gives them another player who can score on the offensive end. Also, Charles Barkley, a great offensive rebounder.
And at 34 years old, he may be wearing down, but when it comes to playoff time, there may be none better.
Yes, he's a big-time performer.
Here's Garnett. On the block, working on Barkley and bumped him. There's a fake move by Barkley. That was all acting right there as Garnett comes up with his 17 points tonight.
Great poise by a 20-year-old player like Kevin Garnett at this time of the season.
Well, he works on Garnett. West on Drexler. West has done a nice job on Drexler tonight. Olajuwon, Ellie, Maloney for 3.
That's a great hustle by Kevin Garnett.
Good rebound by Dean Garrett. He now has 6 rebounds. West is open. That's his shot. Rebound by Barkley.
That's the one that must go down, Kevin. That's got to go down.
Both teams aren't shooting that well. About 43% the both of them. Drexler. Nice move inside by Clyde Drexler.
That's a Hall of Fame move by Clyde the Glide.
15-point lead again for the Houston Rockets and 8:51 to play in the third. Rockets and Wolves played 4 times this year. Wolves came to within 2 one time, but Rockets beat them each and every time this year. Nice ball rotation. Garnett to Gugliotta. Rejected by Olajuwon and picked up by Garnett, and he can't bring it down. Now they've got numbers. 4-on-2. 4-on-1. Drexler to Maloney.
That's the Rockets game. Great defense by Olajuwon to start the fast break. Nifty passing by the Rockets in transition.
Houston has built up their biggest lead tonight at 17 points. With 8.5 to play in the third, the Rockets 70 and Minnesota 53.
Any bank can give you a home equity installment loan with a competitive rate. Any bank can give you 100% equity. Any bank can give you no closing costs. But only First Bank gives you all these things and more in one complete package. After all, you don't want just any bank. For a credit answer in minutes, call now.
This ever happened to you? Then take a time out for Shooting Tips, brought to you by Act 2 Microwave Popcorn. Place popcorn between thumb and forefinger like so. Now straighten that back, square those shoulders, tilt head, aim, and release. Nothing but tongue. Try this at home right now with Act 2 Microwave Popcorn. The official popcorn of the Minnesota Timberwolves.
The Minnesota State Lottery delivers scratch-off fun all over the state. So, Minnesota, what are you going to play today?
More fast break points for the Houston Rockets, which builds their lead to 17.
What starts fast break basketball is good interior defense. Great block shot by Olajuwon. A missed second opportunity by Kevin Garnett, and the Rockets are on their way. Look at the court balance. Nice pass by Clyde Drexler.
Rockets have gone 4 of 6 shooting in this third quarter. Minnesota has gone 2 of 7, so it has been a different kind of shooting element. You're talking about guys hanging their heads. They came out like gangbusters in that first quarter, but boy, they have struggled since. And the Timberwolves trail by 17, the largest deficit tonight to Houston. Now, how they come back with this will show a great degree of what kind of character they have.
Just keep playing basketball.
Marbury has not scored yet. He has 19 points. He has not scored yet in this second half. Kevin Garnett over Barkley. Garnett can't hit the turnaround, and Barkley comes up with yet another rebound. He's got 5.
You know, Kevin, when you're down 17 to a good basketball team, it becomes tougher and tougher to put the ball in the basket.
Olajuwon muscling his way. Drexler, great ball rotation to Ellie.
I mean, Mario Elliott shooting the basketball right now is better than anybody in the world.
The world?
The world.
You're forgetting about that big 7'8" Japanese player, Hun.
Because these are the best basketball players in the world.
In the world. All right, here comes Garnett. Banking it home, and Kevin Garnett's got 19.
It's a nice, nifty move by KG off the dribble.
He's gone 9 of 16. Marbury's gone 6 of 11, but Gugliotta has gone 1 of 7. A shocking performance, to say the least, from the leading scorer of this team. Doug West picks up the foul. We haven't talked a lot about Doug's defense on Drexler. Drexler only has 6 points. He's averaging 19 a game. Doug West, I think, has done a very good job defensively.
Very good job by Doug West on Clyde Drexler. He's forcing Clyde to take shots through tough defense, and that's all you can ask from Doug.
Rockets are shooting 46%. Drexler, we're just talking about it. That's how there's a little bit of buffer between the two.
You know, Clyde Drexler is a great one-on-one basketball player. Doug West playing very good defense. That time the offense won.
20-point Rocket lead, biggest tonight. Marbury meets a double. Maloney's on him, pitches it off to Garrett, and he can't put it in. Elijah Owing. West picks it up at the other end. A Rocket turnover, their 6th. Minnesota's got 3.
Great hustle by Doug West and Kevin Garnett.
There's a foul. It's inside on Houston, called on Hakeem Olajuwon. Here's the interesting thing about this game. Minnesota trails by 20 points. But they've only committed 3 turnovers in the game.
Second shots and a 3-point shooting by the Rockets have taken this game to a 20-point lead for them.
Well put. Chris Carr comes in the game after missing 18. Nice pass. Marbury to Garrett. Count the 2. And a foul called on Charles Barkley.
That was a great hesitation move by Stephon Marbury to freeze the defense. And what about the pass to Dean Garrett?
Marbury's got 19 points, 3 rebounds, 3 assists. And that's a 3-point play by Garrett and a 17-point lead for Houston. 6.5 to play in the 3rd. Olajuwon working on Garrett. He hooks it home. And Hakeem Olajuwon's got 12.
So this is where the Rockets are very tough. Now you stay home with the 3-point shooters. Then they give the ball to the best center in basketball, Hakeem Olajuwon.
Gugliotta, Garnett, and Garrett, the G-men up front. Marbury with a 3. He puts it down, and Stephon Marbury's got 5 3-point shots and 21 points tonight.
Well, this is a big-time performance by Stephon Marbury.
Well, referee had his hand up for a 3 as a shove and a foul is called inside, but now they have relented and called it a 2-point shot by Marbury. A 2-point shot. He's got 21. Let's take a look at it again.
That is the 4th team foul.
One referee had his arm up to say 3, and sure enough, his toes were on the line. That is a 2-point shot and a very good call by the refereeing crew.
That's a great call by you too, buddy. You were right on it, man. All over it.
That's enough. You're coming back next year. I don't know what you're trying to butter me up for. Stojko Brankovic comes in. And his first action in the playoffs for the Timberwolves. Barkley, Olajuwon, and back to Charles. 3 to shoot. Olajuwon with a great fake. Taking it by Gugliotta. Rebound by Carr. Here comes Marbury the other way. Dumps it off inside, loose, and finally corralled by Brankovic in the shot clock at 12. Great no-look pass by Garnett into Gugliotta. And Gugliotta hits his 2nd shot tonight from the field. He's gone 2 of 8.
It's a tough shot by Gugliotta.
There's a shove and a foul called on Gugliotta. And he picks up his 3rd personal foul.
That's not a good foul, Kevin, because Charles Barkley had nowhere to go. He was just trying to catch the basketball. Don't put Charles Barkley on the free throw line just to put him on the line.
Barkley averaged 19 points this year. He only played 53 games, the fewest games he has played in his career, and the lowest scoring average, 19 points a game, since his rookie year in Philadelphia.
you know, with all the games he's missed. And maybe that would help Charles Barkley at playoff time. His body is rested. His knees won't be aching. Maybe he will have the strength and the stamina to carry to the playoffs that can help this Rocket team down the stretch.
Barkley again. And he can't get that to go. And out of bounds off Minnesota. Brankovic can't hold on. Drexler gives to Barkley. Ellie for a two-point shot. Rebound, fought for. It's loose inside, collected by Olajuwon. Here's that second chance point you're talking about. A two by Maloney. Rebound. Barkley took it away from Gugliotta. Another offensive rebound by Houston.
Charles Barkley, a big-time offensive rebounder.
Olajuwon, one-on-one Brankovic. He's not going to get much help. Here goes Hakeem with the fadeaway, and now he has scored 6 points in this quarter. He's got 14 for the game, and the Rockets are slowly pulling away.
He's got so many moves on the block. You can go one way, you can take that away, he can come back the other way. What about that sweet jump shot?
Chris Carr with the trap. Drexler came out to get him on the perimeter.
See, Drexler closed out under control. That forced Chris Carr into that turnover.
Rockets are shooting 46%, Minnesota 43%. Wolves with 4 turnovers. Rockets with 6. Rebounding advantage, 36-23. Houston, a lot of those are offensive rebounds. Rockets plus 13. Another 3 by Ellie. The Rockets have already hit 9 threes. Another offensive rebound.
Clyde Drexler on the glass.
Olajuwon.
And the dream is dreaming right now. You can't stop Olajuwon one-on-one.
Olajuwon had 8 points in the first half, has 8 points. And we're not even through in this third quarter. So he's got 16 for the game. Rockets lead by 20, and this is the Minnesota Timberwolves Television Basketball Network.
The power of the dollar has finally reached your driveway. It's your Chevy dealer's Power of the Dollar Spring Sales event. Right now, lease a Chevy S10 for only $159 a month for 36 months with $500 down. That's an S10 with more standard horsepower than Ford Ranger for only $159 a month. Hey, the buck stops here. The Power of the Dollar Spring Sales event at your Heartland Chevrolet Geo dealer now.
My love must be a kind of blind love. I can't see anyone but you.
Norman Feeney, Pepsi drinker for life. Pepsi, Generation Next.
FedEx will come to your office to pick up your 2-day package for an extra charge.
UPS will come to your office to pick up your 2-day package for an extra charge.
The U.S. Postal Service already comes to your office every day. So we'll pick up your priority mail 2 to 3 day package for free.
So, what's your priority? Switch to priority mail from the U.S. Postal Service.
Tom Hanneman back in Houston, joined now by the great Dr. J. Julius Erving, obviously here with NBC. The Wolves making their first appearance on NBC on Saturday. Let's talk a little bit about this game. Obviously, the experience factor has played out so far this evening.
Well, I think it has. The Rockets have been very patient and deliberate with the ball, and you know they have the ability to penetrate, get high percentage shots. So it's the Timberwolves defense that's lagging tonight, not their offense, even though the offense isn't on all 5 cylinders.
What is your impression of the Wolves? I know you did a great piece with Kevin Garnett this year, had a chance to talk with him. Your thoughts on this young guy?
I'm very impressed with him. He's having an excellent game. Stephon Marbury is having an excellent game. And I think they have the ability to turn it up to the next level come playoff time, which is something to look forward to in the future.
Julius, thanks so much. We'll have you send it back to your good friend, Trent Tucker.
You know, that's my man down there. Take it over, Trent.
All right, Doc. Doc is the best.
He is a bit. You've told this story before. You two had the same agent.
Yes, we do.
And he was an idol of yours when you first got in the NBA.
Yes, he was. My first NBA game for the Knicks, I was standing at the jump ball circle, and I was standing by Dr. J.
What'd you think?
I didn't know whether to ask him for his autograph or I didn't know what to do. I said, here, this is the doctor.
The good doctor. He's lived his life in a first-class manner. Mitchell out to Carr. Good ball rotation to Kevin Garnett. And Garnett's got 21. Marbury's got 21. They have accounted for 42 of Minnesota's 64 points. That's half the scoring from those two 20-year-old kids.
And they know, Kevin, if they move the ball from strong side to weak side, they can get good looks at the basket.
Willis over Frankovic. Gugliotta is on the bench and resting. He has had a tough time shooting from the field, 2 of 8, so he is out. And a runner by Stefan and a whistle. Maloney picks up the foul, trying to shove Marbury out of the way.
It's got to be a nightmare to see Stephon Marbury one-on-one with you in the open floor, because he's got so many moves with that basketball. He can go one way and come back the other way. He can break you down.
Marbury from the free throw line, 3 of 4. Minnesota 83%, 10 of 12. Now 11 of 13. Rockets are 13 of 20 from the free throw line. 22 for Stefan.
Great basketball between Kevin Garnett and Stephon Marbury.
Rebound by Willis. And a foul called on Sam Mitchell. It's the 3rd on him. Garrett's got 4. West has 4. And a very concerned Flip Saunders. Rebounding has just been so totally in favor of Houston. Really, since the opening tap, they've got 39. Minnesota's got 24. That's a difference of 15 rebounds. The guys like Willis and there come off the bench for 7 points and 7 rebounds in 13 minutes. That can make a difference.
Oh, yes, it will. I mean, Kevin Willis is a big body. He's a good low-post offensive player, and he's a great rebounder on both ends. That's why the Rockets felt they needed Kevin Willis to challenge the teams like the Lakers with Shaquille O'Neal and the Sonics with Sean Kemp, because with strong inside play, that would give you a great chance of winning a championship.
Michigan State, Eddie Johnson comes back in. Eddie Johnson has been a nice force for this team as Mario Elie will check out. Eddie Johnson came off the bench in the first half, hit a buzzer beater. One instance. And 9 points for Kevin Willis. As you see, New York tonight in Madison Square Garden took care of Charlotte. And look at what Miami did to Orlando. They just absolutely decimated the Magic. Utah by 11 in the second quarter. And this is the other game tonight. Here in Houston, 84-65. Rockets by 19. They're led by 20. Barkley into Mitchell with a nice series of moves. Bad back and all, and he takes his 34-year-old body and dances with Wolves inside and comes up with 2. He's got 13.
That was a super move by Charles Barkley, going to the up and under on Sam Mitchell.
Marbury's got 22. He collides with 3 and Willis, and a foul called on Sedale Threet. Who I liked as a late season acquisition by this Rocket team.
He and Eddie Johnson, guys who have proven themselves at playoff time. But look at this great move by Charles Barkley.
Wow.
Going to the up and under and then to the left hand for the finish.
That is really a great play. 1:42 remaining in the third quarter. Here comes Garnett. Barkley is out on him. And they throw it into Frankovic. Hook shot over Willis. Rebound by Clyde Drexler. Now plus 16. Rockets in rebounding. 3. Johnson looking for Barkley. Mitchell again going to dance with him inside. Garnett will not double. It's one-on-one. The isolation on Mitchell. Rejected by Garnett. Count the 2, and Barkley's got 15.
And the reason Kevin Garnett couldn't go double because Eddie Johnson was his man, a good spot-up shooter. That left Charles Barkley to play one-on-one basketball with Sam Mitchell.
See, that's a problem with Houston. They present as much as any one team in the NBA, about as many different looks as you're going to see in a team.
I mean, when you got guys who can knock down a 3, that will open up the game for your great post-up players.
Three by Stephon. He's got 5. Rebound by Drexler. He loves to play on the open floor. One of the best that's ever been in the open floor. Eddie Johnson, he traveled. We'll turn it back over to Minnesota. And for the Rockets, that is their 8th turnover tonight. As you see, Rudy Tomjanovich, a 5-time All-Star for this franchise.
He's a great offensive basketball player. He could really shoot the rock.
All right, Robinson is in. Marbury leaves. At 22, winding down the third quarter. Chris Carr for 3. Rebound. Barkley and Willis. And I think that bald-headed Barkley caught Willis on the cheekbone. Drexler by Carr. Out to 3 and up to Johnson.
Here's Charles Barkley. Another offensive rebound.
That's the game right there.
Yes. That's the basketball game.
Offensive rebounding, 3-point shooting, second chance shots. And that may have, Carr and Barkley were teammates in Houston and grew to be very close. There's a little bit more there than just a player guarding another player.
That's why Charles gave him that shot.
That tells a big story right there. As does that. Robinson can't hit the 3. Barkley with the rebound. Lost it to Garnett. He can't get it in. Frankovic can't get it to go down. The third quarter has come to a close in Houston. And it was all Rockets. They lead by 23. This is their biggest lead tonight at the end of 3. 88-65 Houston on the Timberwolves television network.
C'est si bon de partir n'importe où, bras dessus, en chantant des chansons. C'est si bon de se dire des mots doux, de petits rien du tout, mais qui en disent en langue.
In 5 years, Dodge has introduced an entire line of exciting cars and trucks and reinvented an entire brand. The only thing we haven't done is to make these kind of offers all at the same time. Announcing the National Dodge Sale. It's never been easier to get into a new Dodge. See the friendly Dodge dealer near you.
What happens when hot and cool combine?
Hot eats, cool treats, at Dairy Queen.
Here's cool.
So cool.
The original Blizzard made with soft serve, or the Breeze made with non-fat frozen yogurt.
So good.
Blended with favorites like Heath Candy, M&M's chocolate candies, or Nestle's Crunch. Blizzard flavor treat, Breeze frozen yogurt treat.
Hot eats, cool treats, we treat you right. Take it away, Michigan Day, on the WB. Woo!
That's Houston's biggest lead tonight, 23 points over Minnesota, 88-65. And our Miller Lite three-point payoff contestant in the fourth quarter tonight is Peter Freilich from Faribault. And he selects Tom Gugliotta to hit the first three-point shot of the fourth. And if Googs gets it, Pete wins $3,500. Problem is, Gugliotta's gone 2 of 8 and has really had a difficult night shooting the basketball. Got to be 21 and older to enter the Miller Lite three-point payoff by sending us your name, address, age, phone number, and the Timberwolves player you think lit the first three-pointer in the fourth quarter. Mail a postcard. The Miller Lite three-point payoff, 600 First Avenue North, Minneapolis, 55403. Or you can send us email at payoff@timberwolves.com. If your name is drawn and you guess correctly, you'll win. If tonight's contestant doesn't win, the jackpot keeps building. You know, we show those numbers from Gugliotta, but it is very safe to say that if Gugliotta is not on this team is not in the playoffs.
That's true.
And this will not last. He has had games like this in the past and come back and absolutely been lightning on the floor the very next game. So you see this, you kind of say just a bad night. And he hopefully comes back on Saturday and just lights him up. Outside, Drexler does not hit the shot. Rebound by Sam Mitchell. Gugliotta's days 2 of 8. You can count on one hand over his 4-year career. It just doesn't happen. It just does not happen. Mitchell inside, plowing his way free for 2 and a foul.
That's a tough field goal by Sam Mitchell. Taking the ball right to the teeth of the Rockets defense.
Not trying to take it. Minnesota plays very loose. They try to go through this 4th quarter and build towards Saturday and yet make this a game in the 4th quarter.
They need to build strong in the 4th quarter, find some positive in this 4th quarter so they can take it into Saturday's game and give them a chance to win.
Mitchell with the free throw. It does not complete the 3-point game. Another rebound for Houston. They lead that category. 45-27. 45-27. And the Rockets are not a great rebounding team. They're only 6th in the NBA. They're decent, but they're not great. 22nd timeout taken by the Houston Rockets. 88-67, the Rockets on top. And hey, grab your friends or your nearest color analyst and register for the Timberwolves Hoop It Up 3-on-3 basketball tournament to be held August 3rd and 4th. That's a great event. I've been there many times. So much fun. Call 612-698-3328. More information on how to participate in this summer's biggest 3-on-3 tournament. Turbo signing autographs. A bit of mascots in the NBA and a good steal by Cherokee Parks.
It's nice work by Cherokee Parks to step in the path and pick off that ball.
Porter to Parks to Porter. Willis. Eddie Johnson took it away from Robinson. Drexler has it. He lost it. Picked up by Elijah. Scooped up by 3. And over to Drexler. He wants the mismatch against Parks.
He knows he can take him, but he's calling Kevin Willis over.
Eddie Johnson. Nice move on Robinson. Off the knee of Sam Mitchell. Shot clock at 7.
See, Clyde Drexler had Cherokee Parks, but he looked and said, hey, Kevin Willis has a smaller player. Let's go to him. The Timberwolves recognized that. He skipped the ball to Eddie Johnson. He tried to make something happen.
There's the shot clock, and there's Eddie Johnson. A foul called on Cherokee Parks.
Foul is on number 44, Cherokee Parks. That's his second personal
foul. It's only the second on Cherokee Parks. They told us he would get more playing time once the playoffs come. And tonight, Parks has played just 4 minutes.
Yeah, you got to find a hot hand somewhere, and guys who get hot, their minutes will increase.
Elijah has been hot. Willis has been hot. Drexler has picked up steam. Eddie Johnson for 3. Rebound Elijah just outdid Porter because of his size.
I mean, Terry Porter had no awareness where Elijah was. So he went for the ball and then put a body on the king, and the bigger player took the ball away. But goodness happened to the Timberwolves. He traveled.
11 turnovers for Houston, but just 4 for Minnesota, which makes the score and the deficit so improbable. Because in a playoff, you just don't turn the ball over. But tonight, it's been rebounding and second chance points.
That's true. You would think that, hey, the Timberwolves turned their ball over a great deal, and the Rockets got some easy baskets in transition. But it was offensive rebounding and great three-point shooting by the Rockets.
Parks picks up his 3rd and his 2nd in the last couple of minutes. You know, you take a look at statistics and you try to figure out which ones will lead you where the game is going. You think turnovers will dictate? Tonight it doesn't. You think rebounding can have an effect? Well, Minnesota doesn't rebound all that well, yet they've won some games down the stretch in the month of April. It's hard sometimes to figure out what the numbers tell you. Timeout taken by Minnesota, 9:51 in the 4th quarter. 88-67, the Rockets lead.
Video Update always offers the best deals in video entertainment. Right now, buy the Nintendo 64 system at Video Update for only $149.99. And for a very limited time, receive 10 free rentals at Video Update when you purchase the Nintendo 64 system. That's an added value of over $30. No one offers you a better deal on the Nintendo 64 system. Only $149.99 plus 10 free rentals. Only Video Update, with their exclusive 2 for 99-cent Tuesdays, offers you the best video rental value. Now, with over 350 locations.
Welcome back to the Summit. Could you play? We're trying to do some television. Could you move off to the side? Well, Randy Whitman's in our way. There we go. Thank you very much. 9:51 remaining in this fourth quarter with Trent Tucker, Kevin Harlan. The turning point of this game, you go back to the first half.
Offensive rebounding for the Rockets. When the Timberwolves had a chance to take control of this basketball game in the first half, they gave up too many second and third chances to a great basketball team.
And they're getting burned by it, and it's continued as we have gone into this third and fourth quarter. Here at the free throw line is Hakeem Olajuwon, who's had a pretty good night. 17 points and 11 rebounds for Olajuwon, who is shooting, as we mentioned back in the first half, our best ever, 78% from the stripe.
You know, a guy like Olajuwon must be a good free throw shooter because at crunch time, he will have the ball in his hands a lot. He gets fouled a lot, so he must be able to knock down free throws.
23-point lead. Quickly out of back in the game. Mitchell. Robinson for three. Knocks it down for Minnesota. That is their 7th three-point shot. 5 by Marbury. And then they have spread the other ones around.
And he must continue, Kevin, to play the game the right way.
Which is?
Inside, move the basketball, pass the ball to the open player.
Tried to get it inside. Ellie had it picked off by Mitchell. Here comes Terry Porter. They got googly out of back in there, probably trying to just shake the cobwebs out and get ready for Saturday. After that, this area is 2 of 9 with 5 points, 3 rebounds, and 3 assists.
You know, he can't drop his confidence level. He has to continue to play good, sound basketball and be aggressive.
Kevin Willis, excuse me. Kevin Willis himself. Willis has got 11 points and 10 rebounds in 18 minutes. That is about as good a game as you want out of him per night.
He's very effective off the bench.
Mitchell into Willis. There's a foul finally called on Willis.
Fouls on number 42, Kevin Willis. That's his second personal foul.
The size difference between the 7-foot Willis and the 6'7" Mitchell is marked. There's Sam Mitchell at the free throw line, 8 years in the NBA, 5 with Minnesota. He appeared in every game this past regular season. He had 5 starts. And he was shooting so well toward the end of the year. You see the free throw differential right there. He was shooting at almost 50% over the last 17 regular season games. He really came on strong.
You know, he worked on his shot during practice time, squaring his body, making sure he was releasing at the top with a nice fluid motion.
There's a foul, and it's called on Terry Porter.
That's his first personal foul.
It's the first time Porter. Wolves have 4 on Garrett, 4 on West, 3 on Gugliotta, Parks, and Mitchell, 2 on Garnett. 1 apiece on Marbury, Robinson, and Terry. 8:15 to play in the fourth. And here's Olajuwon, who's had a great second half. 10 points and a ton of rebounds. And he